training today, I sparred with my instructor, and afterwards I asked him for advice, and he said, attack more. Even from defensive positions, attack more. And I was observing myself as I was listening to his advice, because asking for help and asking for advice is something I'm doing more of. And it's something that I know that I have always been afraid of, because I didn't want to hear the answers. I wanted to hear, no, you're perfect, you don't have to do anything differently. And I knew that wasn't the answer, so I didn't want to hear the answer. So I was observing my reaction when he was giving me his advice. And it was a range of things. It was a little bit of dejectedness. It was a little bit of wanting to please him and like eagerly agree with what he was saying and immediately implement his advice. And then it ended up at just kind of like, okay, this is what it is. Let me just let his advice sink into me and not make any judgments. And also, I started to think about his advice and my implementation of it, and realized everything is relative. Relative to him, I'm not being offensive, but I'm being more offensive against other people who are less good than he is. So when I'm going against him, he's better than everyone else, and I'm aware that he's better than everyone else. So that compounds my defensiveness. But if I were going at the same level against everyone else that I did against him, I would have been much more offensive, because they're not as good as he is. So I had that realization, and also I had the realization that it's an invitation to up my game, because even against him, I need to have more of an offensive mindset. I'm still going to lose, but just training the mind to be in more of an attacking mode is good. Because his philosophy is, if you're on the defensive, you're losing, which is understandable. It's like you want to always be moving forward in life. You need to move forward just to stand still. If you're standing still, you're falling behind. So you always have to be moving forward. And the better job you do moving forward, the more you'll advance. I had another conversation today with a business mentor talking about upping my game in the commercial mortgage realm. And I was also observing myself during that conversation. And I was almost in a panic mode during that conversation. I was so overwhelmed. Also, I just got back from a trip, and instead of staying home, I went to the office for a couple hours, which I think was a really good idea. So I was filled with this sense of needing to catch up. So that added to the overwhelm. And then having this font of information from a more experienced person just compounded it. So I was inundated with improvement today. And it was overwhelming, but I was able to calm myself, be more in the moment, get through it, and just kind of, again, see how it landed on me. I don't have to do everything all at once. That's the other thing I realized today, that even a little bit of improvement is better than I am today. I don't have to do everything he said, or at least I don't have to do everything right away. I just have to do a little bit, and it's already better. And if that's my best, that's good enough.